Hi witches! In today's video I am going to be giving you an update. It's been 2 years since we had an update on the Cemetery Witch. There is lots to update you on. I just wanted to have a little bit of a chat about where we're at on YouTube, where we've been, where we've got to, and also to let you know what's available as of today, the 1st of April. Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. You guys know me, I'm Ren, I'm the Cemetery Witch. Today I thought we would do a little update video on where we're at as a channel, where we're headed, what's been happening with the Cemetery Witch, and yeah, give you some updates. So I don't even know where to start really. I guess the first thing that I need to say is a massive thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for engaging and sharing and just generally being awesome, and for just spreading your love, your light, your enthusiasm, your kindness, your compassion within the witchcraft community. I think it's really important to remember that we are a community and we should be helping and supporting each other within this community. So thank you so much. I am so lucky that on both Instagram and YouTube, my two main platforms, everyone is so very lovely and supportive. I don't have to deal with idiots too often. So thank you so much. They're definitely out there and I definitely do have to deal with them. But on the whole, like, you're amazing. You guys are amazing. So thank you. So where are we at? We've just had a birthday as a channel, apparently. Our birthday, the day that I started this page, this channel, was the 19th of March 2020. So lots of things happened in 2020, didn't they? That was like lockdown year. That was the year I think that so many creative projects were birthed, even if they weren't sort of properly started, definitely the idea for them came about. So it was the same for me with YouTube. So I did my first video on the 1st of June 2020, and that was one about hand blended incense, and it was absolutely rubbish. I was not comfortable in front of the camera. I had really bad memory issues then. I mean, I still have issues now, but I can pull something together, you know, I can sort of ground myself, I can find what it is I need to talk about, and even if I don't say exactly the thing that I wanted, I can at least make it work. So I made my first video. I then made 3 others, including 10 signs you're a witch, which again was just really awkward. It's really embarrassing watching it. I've even considered taking it down, but then there was one day where it was put into everybody's newsfeed and it was watched so many times, and so many people joined the channel as a result of that video. Thank you. It just makes me cringe so much when I watch that. I'm probably going to remake that because it's a really good topic, and now that I'm feeling much more comfortable in front of a camera, I feel like I should redo it, and I reckon I could probably just, yeah, give it a bit more justice than I did back then. But anyway, so that was my 4 videos that I made in 2020, and then nothing else until 2022. I just didn't have the energy or the time or the inclination. There were other things going on that I'm going to talk to you about in this video, and it just went on the back burner for a while, and all the ideas I had, I wasn't quite sure sort of like how to put them together. And so yeah, it was like 2 years. It was 2022 and I did an update. So that was the last update that this channel did. So I'm sure even just watching that, I haven't watched that video, but I'm sure even just watching the difference between this video and that video is probably huge. Then on the 29th of July 2022, we had our first episode of the Witching Week. So I didn't realise until I actually had a look to make this video and make some notes so that I could do this video. I had no idea that we started the Witching Week 2 years ago this year. I know we're on episode, well, it's going to be 71. No, we will have just done 71. It's going to be coming up for episode 72. But when you factor in like the odd one that's missed, and just we celebrated, didn't we, on number, I think we celebrated on number 50. Yeah, or was it a calendar year? I can't remember, my memory's terrible, but I did not realise it was 2 years this year. So we're in April, so 3 months to go. So yeah, nearly 2 years, absolutely crazy. And yeah, there's some other content on here as well. So we really have grown. There's over 2,000 of you here now. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. I know I haven't been making videos recently. I've only been doing the Witching Week. That's because there has been a lot going on. If you watched the Witching Week last Friday, you'll understand why now. And I do intend to get back to making videos. So thank you so much for your support. Please recommend me. If you know any other witches and pagans and you feel like they would enjoy the Witching Week on a Friday, please recommend me to them, maybe send them a video, something like that. I'd really love this channel to grow because it's all about teaching people that are new to the craft that witchcraft is simple, it's practical, it's accessible, and it's joyous, and it just teaches you so many wonderful things. It's not about collecting followers. It's about just getting the word out there. More and more people are turning to the craft now. More and more people are turning towards this way of life. And my calling in this life is to help people. So we've grown in all sorts of ways, the Cemetery Witch. I thought I would tell you a little bit about that. So no longer am I awkward in front of the camera. That's one way that I've personally grown, and I've got you guys to thank for that. But also, the Cemetery Witch actually started off one day here on the cemetery. I decided that, why don't I check out Instagram? Like, I'm always hearing about it. Why don't I have a look? I've never been on there, and I just don't know what came over me, and I decided to start a page. So I did, and it was originally called Under the Sun Tarot. Now, I started posting as Under the Sun Tarot, and I was posting like a card a day, and then I realised I wanted to talk about other subjects, and I started to do that, and I just thought, actually, this should be a witchcraft page, not a tarot page. You know, I love tarot, I'm interested in tarot, and I don't know what made me start a tarot page. I think it was, you know, this journey of relearning my tarot. And I just thought, there are so many witchcraft topics for me to talk about. Like, why didn't I think about this before? It seems obvious now. I just don't know why I didn't just go in with a witchcraft account, because for over 26 years, I have lived, eaten, slept, breathed witchcraft. You know, it's just within me. It just runs through my veins. So I felt a bit, well, I didn't feel foolish. I feel foolish now looking back, because you think it was so obvious. But anyway, I became the Cemetery Witch. It just made sense. Living on a cemetery, I'm a witch, the Cemetery Witch. No one else was using that name, and so it was just like a natural progression. It was just a natural evolution, and it just makes so much sense. And I truly started to realign myself. Not only had I lost touch with my tarot, I used to read many years ago, but I'd also really lost touch with myself. I'd been in an awful situation, and it completely eroded me, and it took up all of my time, and I ended up actually not walking this path for a little while. Not consciously, but I just didn't have time for it in my life. So in like 26 years of practicing, there was a couple of years where it was sketchy and I couldn't concentrate on it, and it wasn't as intertwined with me as it is naturally, as it is when I'm kind of like unmolested, if you like, when I'm left to my own devices and things are good and I'm not being distracted by other things. So it was the most perfect name for me. It was like my rebirth back onto a steady path. I mean, obviously I never left it. We never truly leave it. Just sometimes we get a little bit distracted. It's like, oh, what's that over there? And we don't continue plodding along the path. So I'm back along the path, and have been now for years. So yeah, it was the perfect name, and it's a name that I will keep regardless of where I am, what I'm doing, who I'm with. I am now the Cemetery Witch. So the page grew at a rate that I just didn't expect. People people loved my posts and I really enjoyed it and I threw myself into it. So it started off as a happiness project and it became a passion project. I didn't buy any of my followers as someone has spread the rumour. I've heard that one, it got back to me. I never spent a penny on people. It's been growing completely organically. And that is because I was putting out heavy educational posts. Unfortunately, Instagram doesn't favour those so much anymore. So I've had to do a lot more kind of like interactive posts. I also wanted to embrace fun this year because of everything that has gone on in the last year. I wanted to bring a sense of fun back because I'm quite serious and I'm quite serious when it comes to my witchcraft, but actually we can still have fun. So I've tried to inject a little bit of fun into my page. And yeah, it's been really interesting. The Instagram algorithm just doesn't show witchcraft and educational posts as much as it did, so it's a lot harder to grow now. And again, growing is not about having people following me, it's about getting in front of people's eyes and carrying the message that witchcraft should be simple, practical, accessible, joyful, and that it can do a lot for us. So yeah, so it's a lot harder now to grow than it was, but I'm still loving being on Instagram, I'm loving being on YouTube, and I'm just absolutely loving this journey. And I think it's really important to say here at this stage that I am a person still. I'm not a brand, I am a person. I'm a person with feelings, I'm a person with limitations. I have to follow my calling and I have to follow my hopes, my dreams, my desires in doing this. I've been walking this path a lot longer than, you know, Facebook and Instagram even existing. I've been doing this since a very, very early age. It's saved my life, it's kept me going, it's given me a focus. This path has my heart and soul invested into it, and I feel like I invest that heart and soul into everything that I do. I'm being very, very sincere when I say that, and I'm just so happy. Like I just feel so lucky that I am someone who has been given this gift of witchcraft, this journey, this path, these set of beliefs. Yeah, I feel like I'm very, very lucky, and I'm very lucky to have you guys as well, so thank you so much. So I have some announcements to make today. As of today, there is a Patreon available to you guys, there is an Etsy available to you guys, and you can get my printable downloadable grimoire sheets from both of those. There is a difference in the two. I'm going to explain that in a minute. There's also merchandise. There's a course that I've written with another 2 to come. One of those is nearly complete. The other one I need to write. That will be Witchcraft and Magic and Aromatherapy. And I have got a brand new website to put all of this on and for you to access and find any resources on there that I'm offering, any events, anything like that. It's taken me longer than the average person to achieve this, and I don't mind saying that I'm really, really proud of myself. I said that I would do this, I said that I would become a professional witch, and from today I have done that. When others have given up, I have kept going, and I have kept going through some quite significant challenges and battles with my body. I've spoken about this a lot on the channel. I'm aiming to talk about it less on the channel, but it's really important, I think, to mention it when it is relevant, because I don't think we should shy away from this topic that lots of people don't like. I kept going, I kept visualizing, dreaming, planning, just holding it there in my mind's eye, and just every single day has been a step further. Even if I've not been able to do anything on any given day, I have just then thought about it, done the mental work, done the work on the astral plane, and I'm really, really proud of that. I've made mistakes along the way. I've faced my inner critic, I've faced outer critics, and I've helped others where I could. Even those people that set out to give me a hard time, I've tried to offer my help and my love and my support. My Patreon's all about connecting people. It's about bringing people together and I really hope that you like the space that I've created and all the things that I'm offering to you. I am going to tell you a little bit about what's coming up by using a clip from the Witching Week on Friday. I wasn't going to do that. I was just going to make this a completely fresh video, but it seemed a bit pointless, just basically going over the same points in terms of Patreon, Etsy, the merchandise. There's no point me doing a completely fresh recording for that part when I explained it so well on Friday. So if you don't mind, I'm going to add that in once I finish talking. Once I have launched this, well, I've launched it today, my plan is I will be able to go back to videos, fingers crossed. I will have more time to go back to videos. I will be able to do tarot reading eventually, and hopefully I can get some rest as well. And hopefully, yeah, I can just be a little bit free and I can go out there and create some good content for you guys, some good bonus exclusive content. So before I go into the details of what's available, I just want to thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching my other videos. I am so proud of you all. I'm so grateful to you all because you made this happen for me. You know, this wouldn't be a video if it wasn't for you guys watching it. You know, I could make the video, sure, but without anyone watching it, it kind of doesn't count. So thank you for all your efforts, all your love, all your support, all your patience in whatever way you have supported me over the years. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. And it'll probably be, I would think, another couple of years before we have another update, unless anything exciting happens in the meantime. There are still some more announcements to come, but I don't know when they will be, and I don't fully know the outcome of some of those things yet. So that is to come. That is to come. A little teaser. Not even I know at this stage. Not even I know at this stage, but there is more stuff to come. More interesting stuff to come. So I'm sending love and blessings to you all. I'm going to leave you now with the description of the services that I offer. All the links will be under this video, so you don't have to navigate to my website to find that. All the links are going to be below, so easy peasy. So I'm sending so much love to you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll leave you with this bit next. Thanks, bye. Finally, the Cemetery Witch is launching as an entity that is bigger than just me creating content for you guys. I absolutely love doing this. Obviously, I try and give you educational content. I have had to sort of move with the changes a little bit with Instagram. Instagram doesn't favour educational content as much as it did before, so I don't get seen, which is frustrating. Not because I want to have loads of followers, it's because my calling in life, I feel, is the craft, and that is making the craft practical, accessible, getting rid of the fluff and the scary sort of part of it. And so I want to be seen by as many people as possible, and you guys can obviously help me with that. You know, likes, shares, comments, sharing this page, chatting with me, engaging with me, just watching, all of that, and I really appreciate you. But obviously it takes a bit of time, it does take up a bit of energy, and it doesn't pay the bills. So if I want to continue to offer this to the world and to support other people in the witchcraft community, then I have to move a bit differently within it to be able to continue. So you guys are actually getting all of the scoop right now here, Friday. I'm releasing a little bit each day from Monday, from the 1st until the 5th. And I'll be letting people know in my free newsletter on the 1st as well what's going on, but you guys are getting the scoop here first. So we have, from Monday, we have Patreon, we have Etsy, we have merchandise, we have courses, well, one with some in the pipeline, and we have a new website. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about each of these. I'm really excited to share all of these with you. I really, really am. And I have put my heart and soul into this for the last, I'd say, 4 years. I had the idea 4 years ago that I wanted to offer a bit more back to the community in terms of connecting people and showcasing people and things like that, and just giving a little bit more back, creating a sacred space, a community that was away from, like the community we've got on YouTube and Instagram. Yes, it's lovely. Yes, it's wonderful. Yes, it's beautiful, and it's full of amazing souls, but you do actually get some not very nice people as well, and some people that just cause trouble, and so I want to create a lovely, welcoming space where it's a lot more private and I can share a lot more of myself with you, without worrying about prying eyes and stuff like that. We all have lives, and sometimes we have complications. So I just want to create a really, really homely space where people can always feel safe to interact, because sometimes people message me and they do want to share something, but they perhaps feel that it's not quite the place on Instagram to do that, perhaps, or maybe on YouTube. So I'm hoping that you guys will be really comfy in the Patreon space, for example. So I'll tell you all about them. I'll give you a quick rundown, and then we'll do some cards. I thought I'll keep it fairly brief today, because this might take a little while. So Patreon, if you've never heard of it, it's basically a subscription service, and it's just like being in any other space, except that only people who pay to be there are there, so it's very private. So there are 4 tiers. We have the Bone Witches, we have the Angel Witches, we have the Mausoleum Witches, and then we have the final tier, which is like a little coven, and that is the Cemetery Witches. So if you enjoy YouTube, my YouTube and Instagram, then this will be just a comfy home for you, a second home for you. There will be longer content, because obviously you're restricted on Instagram with, the amount of information you can get out, and there will be exclusive content. So there will be things on there that I do not feature on my page. So for example, I've got lots of interesting people to interview that can tell you a little bit about their magical lives, their magical experiences. I'm really excited, actually. I've got some great content to bring you. So there will be interviews, reviews, community spells and altars. So for example, that might be spells that we all take part in together, that I've written and planned, and you just have to gather a few bits and we'll do them together, or a community altar. So for example, if I am going to do some sort of magical working for healing, then you will be able to pass me your petitions, you'll be able to send me something, and I will include you in that magical working. That was something that I really, really wanted to do, but I wanted to be really careful with the energy of that, and I didn't necessarily want to open that up completely to Instagram with a million people that I didn't know. So because I think that, things can quickly be diluted. Not everyone always has the right intentions. Not that we'll be doing any particular sort of edgy spell work or anything like that. I'm going to make sure it's safe, but again, I thought that sort of commanded a slightly more private audience. There's going to be live hangouts, and there's going to be things like occasional gifts and surprises, handwritten letters. It depends what tier you're in as to which benefits you receive. But come Monday, go and have a look at my website. The link will be in my Instagram bio, so it's easy to find if you're on there. But it's just basically thecemeterywitch.co.uk, and you will find pages on everything that I'm offering. And then on those pages, you will find links. So as part of, one-to-one mentoring, behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff. So as part of this Patreon, at a certain tier and upwards, I will be sending out PDFs, A4 PDFs, grimoire sheets. So my grimoire, my collection of information that I've put together, that I actually started in back in 1997 when I started as a witch and I started recording things, lots of scraps of paper. I started to organise all this stuff when I was on maternity leave in 2007. So I started to type up and keep a digital file of all the information. And then in 2018, I think it was, I started to take that typed information and actually start to flower it up a bit, you know, in terms of pictures and design and stuff like that. I'm not the world's best designer, but visually I'm not too bad. But yeah, I wanted to just turn it from typed bits of paper in a file to actually something that looks pretty. So that will be available, and that will be available in a sepia tone and in a white tone, so the background. So that actually gives you 3 colorways, because the white background, so no background, basically looks best printed onto distressed paper, and I can give you guys a recommendation for that as well. That's how I have mine. So I'm going to show you mine. So it's kind of a magical encyclopedia, probably more than a grimoire, because I've got 3 files worth of information here. Now it's up to you. You could either do what I do and have it running in order, or you can have the long form content split out into a folder and then just have the quick reference sheets in another. And also the idea of this is that you pick and choose from the information provided what suits you. So you create a bespoke collection of magical information that you can use. As I'm getting older and my memory is really failing, it's really, really helpful. And I'm practical. I have mine in a folder. It doesn't matter. You can have yours in a leather-bound book and you could stick that in there. I'm just really, really practical, and I have mine in plastic wallets so that I can move it around, so that I can take it into the kitchen, because there are recipes and things in here. So yeah, so this is my grimoire. So there's a choice of front pages, and also I am going to give you front pages for subsequent folders as well. So you really have full control of what you do with this. So on joining up, you get a 32-page grimoire starter kit. So that's like all the front pages and all the chapter pages. There'll be more to come as well. I've still got loads of information I need to sort out. And you'll get this in white and sepia. That will be on the Patreon website. So much stuff. So yeah. As it goes through, I'm probably not holding this very well. I can't actually see because I'm looking at the back of my phone. Ooh. So there's loads of just like information on what a witch is and what witchcraft is at the beginning. I've got the Wiccan read, the charge of the goddess, the charge of the god. I think from memory, I'm leaving those out. I'm leaving those out because they're not my work, so I'm not selling them. But that's the sort of thing that I'll be able to include as maybe bonus content. Witch's etiquette, a witch's checklist. So this is a little bit like Scott Cunningham's list, but this is actually my own checklist. So many things, candle colours for zodiac, magical correspondences, they're all mine. So it's up to you whether you use them or not. You might decide to highlight the ones that you find really helpful. You can draw on this, you can add stickers. I mean, you can do whatever you want with this. You can put cartoons on it, you can add in your own pages. It's really, really up to you. Now, there was something else I wanted to say on that. There's a lady that walks her dog in the cemetery. She's not supposed to be in here, and she was just at the window sorting out her dog, so that put me off a little bit. Oh yes, the Cemetery Witch magical monthly newsletter. So that as well is part of one of the Patreon tiers. There is just so much going on. So take a look on Monday. It would be really amazing if you could join me. If not, perhaps share me. That would be fantastic. It's really, really hard now. Excuse me, I'm talking too quickly and taking in too much air. It's really, really hard now with all of the social media platforms, with their algorithms to be seen. So even just a share, I would so appreciate as I try and get this launched. I would like to get this in front of as many eyes as possible, just so that people can see that it is available. I'm not a competitive person, but weirdly, I want to have like the biggest Patreon. There's a few witches on Patreon, and I kind of feel like I want to beat them, so, which is really childish. But anyway, I think it's just excitement, to be honest. It's just pure excitement. And a little bit of pride as well. Like, I'm proud. I have worked really, really hard at this. It's taken me way longer than it would the average person, due to some of the health issues that I've had that have set me back no end. But equally, if it wasn't for those, then I wouldn't be able to do this. I would probably be, you know, in a job somewhere that, well, I would be a holistic therapist. I would be doing that, wouldn't I? But yeah, I feel like everything has kind of worked out the way that it has, because this is my calling and I'm supposed to be doing this. So next thing, Etsy. So I've just given you the history on the grimoire sheets. I'm going to feature those on Etsy as well. So you'll just be able to buy and download those, but there isn't the choice of the sepia. So on Patreon, you'll just be given the white and the sepia. You don't even have to sort of state which one you want. You don't have to pick one. You get both. On Etsy, I'm only offering the white background forms, the grimoire pages. And again, all my notes here, I've got things to tell you about, I've already covered. So the history of my grimoire sheets, yeah, and how the grimoire works. You know, it's like a magical encyclopedia. You can decide how you want to do it. So if you want to have a further look at the grimoire sheets because you're thinking of joining Patreon, then go over to Etsy and have a look at them on there. You'll be able to see the full range. You will on Patreon get extra bits that aren't available to buy in it via the Etsy shop. There's going to be all sorts of bits and bobs on there that you can't get elsewhere, so it's worth checking out the Patreon. Also to Etsy, they're not available yet. I haven't had a chance to get this bit done as well, and we've had so much going on here. Eventually, I am bringing back my coloured spell kits, which you guys loved, and also my witchcraft sort of supplies and starter kits. I did trial these a couple of years ago when I first had this intention to do this. I had a shop, I had it open for about a month, and then I closed it because I could not physically keep up with. I basically burnt myself out in preparing all of this, and I think that even though I had less health problems then than I do now, and I had a lot then, I think that I am much more resilient now, and I'm finding better ways of working sort of a bit smarter rather than harder. So I need to go back over like how much everything costs to create those, because everything has gone up so much in price that I need to make sure that when I'm selling those, I'm going to then be able to rebuy the bits and bobs back in to make them, because they are really, really popular. You guys did really like those, but that needs just a little bit more work that I just haven't had the time for. I do go to bed really, really early a lot of nights to have the energy to, you know, even attempt to do any of this. So this has been a very, very long work in progress, and it's just, yeah, I guess it's taken a passion, a hobby, not a hobby, hobby is the wrong word, an interest, a passion. And I have, you know, managed to eventually turn it into something else, because this is what I need to be doing. You know, I've spent so many hours thinking about my calling in life. Why am I here? What should I be doing? And this is it. So next thing, courses. I never planned to do courses. I never wanted to do courses. I used to teach card making and scrapbooking, and I used to love doing that, absolutely love doing that, but it never occurred to me to do courses. And then I hit 40, and then I got a little bit sort of involved in a local moot, I was going to say local loop, in a local moot, and, you know, occasionally I would like lead, and really, really enjoyed that. And I thought back to when I was like 18 and going to like the Children of Artemis dues, and then I started at a moot, and, you know, I had people that were in their 40s that were sort of like would teach me things, and I've realised that I've now got to that age, and it's up to me now to pass on the information. So I have designed a home study course for you at the moment. I'm not well enough yet to be able to teach and stand and talk for a couple of hours. And that's something that I would like to evolve perhaps into. But ultimately I thought, do a home study course. People can just do it at their own time. They might not want to get involved with other people. And that's the way that I like to study as well sometimes. So this will be available for you to download and print. There are exercises, suggested reading, activities and questions to help you with your learning. There's 328 pages. This is one on protection magic, and I've got a witchcraft and magic course in the making. I've nearly written it, but it just needs some bits added to it. And I'm going to do one on aromatherapy as well, because I am a clinical aromatherapist. So yeah, so that's really, really exciting. That will be available from Monday as well. And then we've got merchandise, which you guys already know about, but that will be available from Monday. So everything is available from Monday. Eventually, when I get myself fixed and I can stand up for longer than I can without feeling like I'm going to pass out or actually pass out because of my heart, I will look at bringing some holistic therapies back. I haven't done them in years. I'm not sure, as my EDS is worsening, whether that is something that I'm definitely going to be able to do, but I'll definitely be able to offer Reiki up again. So that will be coming back. And I would really, really love to eventually go back to tarot reading as well. So I used to read many years ago, and then it got neglected and I moved area, so I didn't have my contacts anymore that I used to read for regularly. I used to do little parties and stuff, and then I got poorly and really suffered with my memory and cognitive issues. And yeah, I mean, I don't do tarot enough. I have started to do more recently. So when I feel like I've got that back to where I would like it to be, then and only then will I offer out tarot readings. But that is something I would really like to do. That is a goal for the future, so that will be coming as well at some point.